Good morning, friends. It's Heather at Bush Poppy Farm. We're out here to do some work today. The reason I'm talking to you from the car is that it's very windy and cold. So I know that the wind will interfere with the microphone. So I'm going to talk to you here and then we'll go out and do some work. Mostly I want to get those mums cut back today. And then if I still have some time, which I think I will, I'm going to try to get some of the few weeds up that are in those beds that are already planted. But again, it's very windy and chilly today. Not super cold. It's like 48 degrees Fahrenheit, which is not that cold if it's not windy. But with this high wind, it's cold. And the area I'm going to be working in is going to be in shade. So I'm dressed very warmly, but we'll get out there, get some stuff done, and then see what's left on tap for the rest of the day. Okay, so here's our project for this morning. Cutting back all of these mums, kind of assessing the damage too. I might pull off I might pull the landscape fabric back to see where all the holes are. Because there was clearly lots of gopher activity in here. But once the mums got up, the gophers only took a few of them and the rest of them stayed. So I'm gonna see if they'll rebloom for me this coming year. But the first step in that is clearing off the current material there and then pulling out some of the weeds from these holes. Okay, well, that was a bigger job than I thought, and there's still a lot to do here, but today is not the day to go. Okay, so I cleared out the sunflower bed. That's going to need a lot of weeding. There's not that much in there, but the ones that are in there are really big with deep taproot, so I just need to pull those out, layer of compost, and then it'll be okay to accept sunflowers again this year. The soil is rich and soft, and they did really well when I planted them as seedlings, not when I direct sowed. And then we've got a row here. The entire row is mums, and I cut back everything that still had some little bit of growth on it at the base, and there's quite a bit. So I'm going to leave these guys, and they're still marked and labeled. There's some in this bed too, up to about here, this section right here. But I need to come in and clear out all the dirt. This dirt is there because rodents were digging in the holes in the landscape fabric and stuff. So I need to clear off all of that, tidy up in here, and then I can do a tally of how many mums I actually still have in here. These are bonus because I've already ordered some coming here. And those will be coming, I think in May, but I could be wrong on that. Could be earlier. Anyway, I think what I'm going to do is the landscape fabric off of this row. This was zinnias this year, and every single one of them got decimated. So all that's in here right now are weeds and tunnels. Like these are the big weeds I'm talking about. And they're spiky. You can't tell from here, but they've got little tiny thorns all over them, so I can't pull them up by hand to go in there and dig them out. But anyway, I think I'm going to take this strip of landscape fabric off and hardware cloth this bed. That will be for mums that come in, and then this whole area can just be perennial mums. And over time, I can put hardware cloth in these other 3 beds if I need to. But because there's nothing currently in this one, that will be an appropriate use of that space and time. So I think that's going to be my plan. Sunflowers will still go in that outside bed. I can put sunflowers in a lot of places here. They are weekly planting for me. I sow weekly with sunflowers. And so I have rotation space already laid out in the upper beds. So this one bed here will be fine to have it, temporarily until eventually I flip it for something else. But yeah, so there's still work that needs to be done out here, but it's nice to have cut all those back and see that there's still a lot of living mums in there. And so they don't have the protection now from the dead plants on top of them, but they also don't have to work hard to feed the remaining living tissue on all of those plants. And so they'll just sit here and they'll chill out, and they'll be fine, because I don't think we're going to get any major frosts. It's not looking like we're going to get much rain either. I'm hoping that will change. Okay, so I'm going to get a drink and then see if I can get some of this weeding done. It would be nice to finish that project for now, knowing that I don't need to come back for a few more weeks. Okay, I didn't film all of that. There was no point. You've seen people weed before. So I did weed this bed again. This is stock. Some of it's getting eaten, but again, this was like, I had extra seed. I want to use it up, so I'm okay with that. The Orlea is looking amazing. I went ahead and put up the flower support netting, because obviously this stuff is super tall. It's going to need it. The stock, I don't know if it'll get high enough. One thing I'm concerned about is the yellowing on these leaves. I'm finding it on the ranunculus as well. Now, some of this could be because it's January, but I'm also seeing some that look like they are suffering from water shortage. We haven't had any rain in about a week and a half. And the soil still feels somewhat damp down there, but the irrigation is still on, and it should have run this morning, and the top is bone dry. So I'm going to head up and see what's going on with the irrigation, because we're not going to get any rain for the next 10 days at least. These things need water. So also in this bed, the covered bed, a lot of things are not doing well. Some of the plants have just disappeared, but shriveled up disappeared, not gotten eaten. But you can see they're looking shriveled. So it's either a water issue or a soil issue. I'm not sure. Again, it's January, so I'm not expecting like a huge amount of growth. That's why this Orlea is kind of funny. It's a very hardy annual. But I think I want to check on the water, and then also maybe tomorrow come out here and give everybody a dose of fish emulsion, just in case we're looking at nutrient deficiencies. I mean, this is brand new soil that they're sitting in. And so I would be more worried if it weren't for the fact that the Orlea is just exploding. So I don't think, and the straw flower is doing fine. So I don't think that the soil is bad, but who knows? Yeah. So I'm going to drive up and see if I can figure out if the water's still on. I have to drive up there, check that, and then come back down and make sure it's working. Because that's kind of crucial. If we're not going to get any rain for the next 10 to 14 days, these guys need water for sure. Okay, well, thankfully, the irrigation is working just fine. It took 2 runs because I needed to go up and I need to label because I don't know which line is which. So when you hit just, random, when I hit manual, I don't know for sure if it's which line it's running, the upper fields or the lower fields. So I had to come back out and check, and it took a while to pressurize this upper field one. The schedule says it's running like I told it to, but I'm a little dubious on that. So I don't know. I'm definitely going to fertilize. It's kind of early for that, but the yellowing indicates to me that they need something. So I'll fertilize, and it's also possible that some of the ranunculus that are looking all shriveled up, that maybe their root systems are just not where they need to be, and it just can't support the plant growth. I don't know. We'll see. I do know that it's not because of gophers getting in there. So, I mean, that's a good thing. Okay, you guys. I've got a bit of a headache today. I'm going to head home and take some medicine and lay down. So tomorrow we'll come out and we'll fertilize. And then I've got more seeds to start. Weeks 2 and 3. I didn't do it last week for week 2. It's mostly lettuce and some other veggies. So we'll get those started. And I have the hose, both my stirrup hoe and the collinear hoe in the back of the truck. We need to start hoeing the front garden because there's little tiny itty bitty weeds everywhere. That's from flowers like Nigella and things like that, dropped millions of seeds. So I want to get that all weeded, start getting that looking presentable so that in the next month or so I can start putting some vegetables in there. And I need to start setting rat traps again out there as a preemptive strike. Okay, thanks for hanging out with me, you guys. I hope you have a wonderful time in your garden, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.